Hey, how you doing? And welcome to Livewire's Buy, Hold, Sell. I'm Selby, and today we're going to be finding out if cash really is king. We'll be analysing 5 companies that are spewing out a shitload of cash, and to do that we're joined by Ben Rundle from Hayborough Investment Partners and Nathan Hughes from Perpetual. First up today, we have Helia Group, which was formerly Genworth Mortgage Insurance. It provides lenders mortgage insurance in Australia. Nathan, I'm going to start with you today. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a hold. There is a lot of cash coming out of this business at the moment, and shareholders are getting a 10% fully franked yield, plus the benefit of buybacks. Look, they're well provisioned for the current climate. The reason it's a hold, the little quirk, is that the top line is slowing, so actually writing less business, which is going to be a bit of a headwind for the outer years. There is some value on offer, but a lot of that valuation upside is closed, so it's a hold.
Okay, share price is up around 5% over the last 12 months. Ben, over to you. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I will agree with Nathan and say a hold. I think the management team have done a good job. The valuation is not extreme. I just don't have enough conviction to call it a buy. CBA, their largest customer, has put their contract essentially up for review. I don't think they miss out on that, but I guess it's a risk and I don't really have confidence either way, so I'll sit on the fence and call it a hold.
Okay, next up today we have Nick Scali, which is still spewing out cash post-COVID, albeit at a slower rate. It's expected to pump out $125 million in operating cash flow in FY24. Ben, is it a buy, hold or sell?
Nick Scali's a buy for me. They have a great opportunity to roll out their plush business in Australia, and they've shown early signs of a lot of success in doing that. They also acquired a business in the UK called Fab Furniture, and Fab has a gross margin that's significantly below where Nick Scali is. So I think that once they get into that business, turn it into more of a Nick Scali style business, get it bigger, get buying power, they'll get that gross margin up. It also has a low store footprint, so there's room for growth there too. So a good one to buy, I think.
Okay, its share price is up around 18% over the past 12 months. Nathan, is it a buy, hold or sell?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a buy as well, for all those reasons. But the beauty of the Nick Scali model is it's quite inventory light. So when a customer purchases a couch, they pay a deposit and the balance on completion of the delivery, which is typically 12 weeks out, which means the company doesn't have to carry a lot of inventory. So that rollout of Plush here or Fab in the UK is very capital light, which means great cash generation for shareholders and dividends through to us. But the company is still able to grow over the medium term.
Okay, last up today we have Whitehaven Coal, which is expected to deliver around $2 billion in operating cash flows, plus a big chunk of cash coming from the 20% sell down of their Blackwater asset. Last one for you today, Nathan. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I was going to say hold, but I changed my mind.
Last minute.
I think it's a buy. Look, I think there's a company transforming acquisition that they did earlier in the year, but importantly, they didn't issue any equity to do so. They're able to use their balance sheet. They do have some deferred payments to make over the coming years, but the cash flow generation from the assets should be quite strong to enable them to do that. I mean, the stock's probably on a free cash flow yield of 20%, which makes it hard to go past.
Most of the commodity resources market hasn't done well over the last 12 months, but Whitehaven's up 9%. Ben, over to you. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I think it's a buy too. The company did drown itself in cash through that period where the coal price did really well. As a result, as Nathan pointed out, they were able to make an acquisition without any equity dilution. Essentially double the size of their business. There's a sell down coming from the Blackwater, selling 20% of Blackwater, so more cash coming in the door, and I think they'll have the balance sheet back to a net cash position pretty shortly, so buy for me.
Okay, we asked our guests to bring along a stock that is spewing out a hell of a lot of cash. Ben, what have you brought for us?
Redox, I think, is a good opportunity. So they listed about 12 months ago, and because of an inventory unwind, they drowned themselves in cash essentially as part of that process. So they sit on about 180 mil of cash at the result 6 months ago. I think at the coming result, that'll be even higher. It's a huge amount of cash for a very capital light business. So I think if you subtract that cash from the market cap and put it on a valuation, I think it's on about a 15 times PE. So for a company that has over 20% returns on capital, I think that's a pretty reasonable valuation to pay.
Okay, over to you, Nathan. Which is your cash spewing stock for today?
Yeah, so my stock is Macmillan Shakespeare, so a salary packaging company primarily, but also with a business in NDIS plan management and a small commercial leasing business. Look, I mean, that is another very capital light business. The core salary packaging business virtually requires no capital and certainly no capital investment to grow. So they're able to generate a lot of free cash without any capital requirement. A lot of that just comes straight back to us as shareholders. So, I mean, the stock's on a PE of 12. We think earnings will be well supported in the near term, both from that business, but also from end of lease profits in the commercial book. And the dividend yield is 9% fully franked because they can pay that straight out to shareholders. So, I mean, that's something that has generated a lot of cash and we continue to see it generating cash in the future.
Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed that special of Buy, Hold, Sell as much as I did. If you did, why not give it a like? Remember to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channels. We're adding so much great content just like this every single week.